So good afternoon and good evening, everyone. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me today for the presentation that I'm going to do on the Malta Citizenship by Naturalization for Exceptional Services by Direct Investment. As you can see, this has quite a lengthy name. So going forward, I will be referring to the process itself as MESI to make it easier for myself and for everyone with us today. So we will go through some information about Henley & Partners. I'll do a brief introduction to Malta. We'll discuss the MESD process. I'll give you an overview and the key benefits, the investment requirement, the process, the procedure, and the time frame for the MESD process. Please feel free to drop some questions in the Q&A box. If I don't answer them on the spot, I will definitely go through them by the end of the presentation. So who are we at Henley & Partners? Our firm has, since the end of 2024, reached 60 offices worldwide. We are the leader in the industry. We have been doing this for over 25 years. We offer 40 different investment migration options. We have advised so far over 25,000 clients, as well as over 15 government. We have done over 15 government mandates, and we have raised $15 billion in foreign direct investment. So we do, as mentioned before, advise private clients and governments. When it comes to private clients, we help high net worth individuals and entrepreneurs to acquire one or more alternative residency or citizenship around the world. We do offer different residency programs as well as citizenship advisory. We do also have, as part of the process itself, for some countries, have some real estate options. We do offer education services as well as concierge services. Government advisory, we do strategic consulting, design and setup. We also do operations and promotions of residency and citizenship programs for countries worldwide. So we design the residency and the citizenship programs for the governments we will be working with. We do the setup of the program and we take over the operations. We do application processing and due diligence, as well as global positioning and promotion. So I will take you through briefly our executive committee, which are made out of our chairman, Dr. Christian Kalen, who is a pioneer and expert in the investment migration. He's a leading specialist in citizenship law and policies. He's got a master's in law from the University of Zurich, and he has also 20 years and over of experience as private client and government advisor. He's also the author of several leading publications. Dr. Jörg Stefan, who is our CEO, has a master's in law from the University of Zurich. He's got an executive master in financial planning. He's got over 30 years experience in financial services, and he is also the author of comprehensive guides to Swiss and Austrian relocation. Mr. Stefan Kraus, who is our Chief Operations Officer, has got an MBA in London from the London Business School. He oversees our IT and HR and real estate departments. He advises clients for the Austrian residency and citizenship by investment processes, and he has over 10 years of experience in strategic consulting and private equity. Last but not least, our group head of private clients, Dominik Walek. He's a chartered accountant, member of the investment migration. He's a member of the government advisory practice group, and he has over 15 years of experience in the financial services field. As you can see, our global presence here, over 60 offices, as mentioned previously. We are located throughout North America, the Caribbean, Europe, Asia, Latin America. We're starting to grow in the area there, Africa, the Middle East, and the Oceania, which is our new recruit between brackets. So I'll give you a brief introduction to Malta. So where is Malta? Malta is positioned in Southern Europe. It is an island that has the main island as well as Gozo, which is the sister island. The capital of Malta is Valletta, and it has a population of 470,000 inhabitants. The currency used in Malta is the euro, and we are on a Central European time zone. Mainly the language spoken on the island is English. Of course, they try as much as possible not to lose the language and to keep on pushing Maltese, but all official documents are usually issued in English. Commercial and business relationships are conducted in English, and laws are in English and Maltese. The University of Malta is open to children of permanent residents and citizens, of course. Malta offers a great health system, reason why it has been ranked 5th in the world by the World Health Organization for medical services and facilities. It's a member of the Council of Europe, Europe's Schengen area, the European Union, the Eurozone, and the International Money Fund. Applicants can include to their application their spouse, their children, their in-laws, and their adult children as well. The Maltese government has worked really hard to attract foreign capital into the country, which has done great for the country, because since I've been here myself for over 15 years, I have seen Malta grow increasingly, and a lot of foreign companies have settled down on the island. Malta's economy is advanced and innovation-driven. So Malta Citizenship by Naturalization for Exceptional Services by Direct Investment. The benefits of the citizenship program in Malta offers you visa-free or visa on arrival to at least 190 destinations. It gives you the right to live, work, and study in any EU member state, as well as Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. You have the opportunity, as mentioned previously, to add the spouse. You can also add your de facto partner to the application, your children until the age of 29, your parents and your in-laws, and the grandparents. You would have in Malta access to a robust healthcare system, ranked as one of the best globally. So access to Malta's education institution and the opportunity for reduced tuition fees at the university in the EU. This is also a big advantage. University of Malta, as I mentioned also before, is free for all Maltese citizens. So if you would get to apply and obtain citizenship, you can attend the university in Malta. So what are the requirements to apply for the MESD process? Applicants must be of a minimum 18 years of age. There are two routes that applicants can choose to apply through. You can either choose to apply through the 12-month route or the 36-month route. So if you choose to apply for the 36-month route, the final contribution post-approval is of 600,000 euros. If you decide to choose the 12-month route, then the contribution will be increased to 750,000 euros. But of course, your application will be finalized much quicker. Hand in hand, as part of the process itself, the requirements of this process, you have to either hold a leased property for a minimum value of 16,000 euros per year, this to cover the residency period, as well as the post-approval period for a period of 5 years. So as soon as you would become a citizen, you would have to abide by the requirements of the property for another 5 years. After the 5 years elapsed, you are free to decide to do what you want. Resell your property, just cancel the lease agreement, or continue leasing a property if you decide to settle down here. The purchased property, if applicants decide to go for a purchased property, is of a minimum 700,000 euros. The property has to be one property of 700,000 euros. It cannot be two different properties that would equal to 700,000 euros. That would not be accepted by the government agency. As part of the requirements as well, there is a donation on a non-governmental organization of 10,000 euros. The way it works is that we would share a list of organizations with our clients that they would run through and decide which one they would like to go for. We will also check from our end that this is approved by the government agency, And as soon as we have the confirmation, we can share the details of the organization with our client. So as mentioned before, you would have either legal residence for 36 months or for 12 months. It depends, as we said, on the routes that would be chosen from the beginning. Now, it's very important to note that if someone goes for the 36-month route, but decides to change throughout the process to the 12-month route, the government agency allows it, but it does not allow you to do it the other way around, from the 12-month to the 36-month. This residency period will have to be covered by, as mentioned before, a lease agreement or a property purchase. Now, it's important to note that if you go for the 12-month route, the residency card is going to be issued for a period of 36 months, but as you would have finalized your application throughout these 36 months, your residency card will be cancelled once you're approved, and then we will move on to the next step, which would be obtaining citizenship. The government agency that we work hand in hand with for the processing of these applications, it's called Community Malta Agency. It is the government entity that administers due diligence and does the verification process for the MESD application. So I'm going to run you briefly through the process itself from the moment you meet us at Henley & Partners, you pass due diligence, we onboard you, and the way we would be working. So once you have contacted Henley & Partners, from our end, we will conduct due diligence to decide if you are eligible to go ahead and apply for a process. Once successful, there would be the client agreements that would need to be signed, and there would be a retainer that would have to be paid. Once the client has been onboarded, and I'm speaking here just for the case of Malta and the MSD process, our processing offices, which would have onboarded the client, would go ahead with the introduction to us in Malta, and we do process all MESD applications directly from the Malta office for the simple reason that this is all what we do, and we are well aware of the process and the requirements as we work directly with the government agency. From our end, first step we will do is we would request police clearance from the government by sending a copy of the client, the applicant's passport, and a copy of a government form. We would wait around 2 weeks, I would say, to receive clearance from the police department. And once clearance has been received, the next step is for us to share through our secure portal all the documents related to the residency application for each and every applicant. We would share these documents with Community Malta Agency for their review. Once they have reviewed all the documents and they give us the go-ahead to proceed, this is when we can secure a residency biometrics appointment for each and every applicant over the age of 18. Now, it's very important to note that minor dependents do not have the requirement to apply for a residency card. It only applies for anyone over the age of 18. In the event there would be an applicant that is 17 years old and might turn 18 throughout the process, we would then strongly recommend to our clients to go ahead and apply for a residency card for their child that would be turning 18 throughout the process. Once we attend the biometrics appointment, we usually encourage our clients to come and spend 48 hours in Malta for the biometrics appointment, as we would use one of these days to complete the application that comes in the second stage. So once we have finalized the work we need to do, we would attend the biometrics appointment. It's quite quick, fingerprints, signatures, and photographs, and the residency card can take a week to 4 weeks to be issued, all depending on how busy the agency is and the third-party department that issues residency card. It's good to know that the department that issues the residency cards issues the residency cards for all Maltese residents, including myself. So it can be a bit lengthy at times, but you have nothing to worry about. Now, what we will do is once your residency card has been issued, we can go ahead, if the second stage has been fully finalized, we will run our second set of due diligence checks. We will then submit your your eligibility application to the government agency with a copy of the residency card. This is why we need to wait for the residency card to be issued. Now, when we were speaking about the 12-month and the 36-month, it's good to know that this period will start counting from the moment your residency card is issued. So from the date of issuance of the residency card, you have to start counting 12 months or 36 months. Now, what is this deadline for? This deadline is for you to be able to apply for citizenship. So in the event you would be approved by the minister, you would still have to wait 12 months to be able to apply for citizenship. So the way we work is you would have submitted your eligibility application. It takes about 6 to 8 months for the government agency to come back to us with a response and to confirm if applicants are eligible to continue and apply for citizenship. Once this approval has been received, we wait for this 12-month or 36 months to be fulfilled. And as soon as we hit the day after the 12 or 36 months, we will go ahead and submit the citizenship application on behalf of our clients. It would take, again, between a month to 2 months for the final approval in principle to be issued by the minister. And as soon as the letter of approval in principle has been issued by the minister, we will start working on the final step of the application, which is the post-approval pack. So when we receive the final letter of approval in principle, it's important to know also that we get the request for the payment of the contribution. You have 20 days to pay the contribution. So as soon as the payment has been done, the government agency will issue a receipt of payment, which we will use as the post-approval pack, as well as the receipt of the donation, as well also as the 5-year lease agreement or final deed of purchase. These are some of the documents we would need to use for the post-approval pack, which internally we call the passport pack, basically. As soon as we have put these documents through to the government agency, so there are 3 sets of documents that go to 3 different departments. There are the original birth certificate that would go to the Malta Public Registry. It's good to know that the original will never be returned. But in return, once you become a Maltese citizen, you can apply for local birth certificates that hold the exact same details that you would have on your original birth certificate. There's another part of the application that goes to the passport office, as I would need the passport forms on the day of the passport biometrics. And the third part of the application would go to Community Malta Agency. Once we get the go-ahead from these 3 departments, we can go ahead and secure an oath of allegiance appointment for all applicants. Children under the age of 6 do not need to be present for the passport biometrics. This can be done on their behalf by the parents signing on their behalf, and we would fill in some other forms also on the side. So once applicants have sworn the oath of allegiance, we will then take them straight away to the passport office for their passport biometrics. You can either choose to collect passports in Malta, but it takes 5 working days, or you can choose to collect the passport in an embassy of your choice. By doing that, you would need to sign a letter that we would provide the passport office with, and they would ship the passports to the embassy of your choice. Now, it's not all countries have embassies, number one, and some big countries like the US, for example, have only 2 embassies that allow passports to be collected there. So it's good to do the homework before we decide on that. Around a month after the oath of allegiance, every applicant will receive a certificate of naturalization, which will be couriered to our clients. And there will be a continuous monitoring period for a period of 5 years. By continuous monitoring, I mean that every year from the date, from the anniversary date, if we can call it like this, of the oath of allegiance, we will have to submit an annual compliance form on behalf of the clients, which would have to be signed by the main applicant. And hand in hand with that, we will send also a copy of the lease agreement or final deed of purchase to make sure that these have been, the requirements have been followed and abided by. And after the 5th year, this is when all the requirements are finalized. You can drop your lease agreement and you do not need to sign an annual compliance form every year. So I hope this was helpful. I will go maybe through some questions if anybody has some. If there are no questions, you have my contact details. You can reach out to me directly just by sending me an email. If you have any specific questions about the MSD process, please also feel free to reach out to my colleagues throughout our 60 offices worldwide. They will be more than happy to answer your questions and to guide you in the right direction on how to start the process. So I would really like to thank you again for taking the time to be with me today. And I wish you all a good afternoon or a good evening. I think we have a question, sorry. So the question is, does it include the contribution plus a donation? Yes, they are both part of the requirements that come at the final stage of the application, and this post-approval. So this is not something that's going to be settled in the beginning of the process. The applicants have to be fully approved by the minister, approved for citizenship, to then have to pay the final contribution and go ahead with the donation. Hello, Mr. Zaidan. No, the contribution does not include the property purchase. So the requirements as part of the process are a donation, the final contribution, which we covered either depending on the route, 750,000 for the main applicant if it's a 12-month route, or 600,000 if it's a 36-month route. And there is also the requirement to hold a property, but it does not have to specifically be a purchased property. It can be a rented property as well. Now, rented properties need to be rented for a minimum of 16,000 euros per year. So all in all, if you do your calculation for the 12-month route plus the 5 years post-approval property requirement, you would need to hold a property purchased or rented, as I mentioned before, for a total of 6.5 years. I hope this answers your questions. So our charges are different depending on the ages of the applicants. So this is something, please feel free to reach out to us or to me directly. We have a web form that you can fill in on the website, or you can send me directly an email and I can share the exact fees depending on the family structure. So I don't think we have any more questions. So thank you very much again. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. I wish you all a great afternoon or a good evening.